Clash of the economic titans. First tonight, the escalating trade war between the U.S. and China has local experts warning of the potential fallout, while one economist says the impact could be widespread, touching every major industry in the Bahamas. This as egg prices set to soar over 20%, while you may spend $10 or more a dozen on your next grocery run, and how shoppers are trying to cut costs. We'll spotlight Grand Bahama and a long line outside Berkshire Farms. And from homeless to helper, a woman shares her journey. From rental cars and hotel rooms, how a single event changed her life and put her on a mission to spread awareness. Then in our news at 7:30, a burning issue under the spotlight as another illegal tree burning site dismantled by authorities. Hundreds of bags of charcoal removed from the site. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. The escalating U.S.-China trade war has local experts warning of potential economic impacts. Our Delvado Emmanuel gets us started tonight speaking with an economist and chamber chief about the potential fallout and what it could mean for your pockets.
With the Bahamas relying heavily on imports from the United States, experts warn the effect of U.S.-China tariffs may hit closer to home than we think.
You're talking things like small electronics, toys, many other plastic goods that we pay that are fairly inexpensive that we purchase out of the U.S. but are made in China will become more expensive as they cross our border.
Economist Edison Sumner says the impact could be widespread, touching every major industry in the Bahamas.
On almost any goods that we consume, groceries, pharmaceuticals, meaning medicines, clothing, building material, auto parts, automobiles as well.
Sumner advises Bahamian businesses to look beyond the United States for goods.
Finding other ways, other countries, other suppliers that they may want to do business with, having direct relations with their suppliers in Canada so that there may be a direct cost to us rather than going through the United States.
And what about the potential impact on tourism? Ingram warns if the trade war leads to recession in the United States, Bahamians could see a drop in American tourists if the trade war goes on for an extended time.
The recessionary type measures coming into place, which obviously during recessions, those types of things, or economic downturns, people tend not to travel as much as they do when things are going well.
Now, as global trade tensions continues to simmer, experts say the Bahamas must be ready for potential economic shift. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that, Delvado. And as all eyes on the trade war between the U.S. and China, egg prices in the U.S. expected to increase more than 20% in the coming year. It's another global issue with negative blowback for us here in the Bahamas. A highly pathogenic bird flu limiting poultry supply in the U.S. is reportedly to blame. Well, as local supermarkets import many of those eggs, that means prices here at home now soaring past the $10 mark. Over in Grand Bahama, Berkshire Farms, customers lined up nearly hours before opening. Our Marlena Leonard is following this.
When America has issues with their food systems, we are directly affected with that. But I think right now is an opportune time for us as a community and the country to take food sustainability more seriously.
That's President and Managing Director of Berkshire Bahamas Farms, Terrence Roberts III. The Grand Bahama Farm has 1,200 hens producing eggs and recently got another 1,500 chicks that'll be able to produce eggs in a matter of months. The local farm's eggs go for $7.50, VAT inclusive, while there are reports of egg prices being almost twice that in some food stores. While Roberts says the increased demand is a good problem to have, it has forced them to get creative.
Because our demand is through the roof right now. We have customers outside the gate before, like an hour or two before we open, waiting to be the first in line to get eggs. And we've been having to make adjustments to our rules almost daily. You know, some days we say, okay, the max egg each customer can get is 4, now it's 2.
The demand was so high, they had to stop their wholesale efforts and pivot to retail. Of course, it's not the first time we've seen egg prices climb because of issues in the U.S., and Roberts says it's a perfect example of the importance of local farming.
Understanding how agriculture works, and if we raise our own food, many times we're not affected by what's happening in other countries. And the thing about it is what's imported, we have no idea where it's coming from. We don't know how the animals are being raised. So when these things happen, like how much control do we really have for what we're putting into our bodies and the health and safety of our community?
But even after prices of imported eggs level out, the managing director says there's power in supporting your local farmers.
If the community grows together, then, you know, the economy thrives and the money stays here. So that's one of our main focuses. How can we empower our community members to keep the economy growing locally?
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
All right, thanks so much for that, Marlena. Well, tonight we uncover a potentially serious health risk tied to the use of illegally produced charcoal. It's a danger recently exposed by the Department of Environmental Health and Our News. Our investigation first revealed illegal tree burning in southern New Providence, an issue that has been long troubling for residents and has become cause for concern among local authorities. Just this Tuesday morning, environmental health officials say they discovered over 200 bags of this illicit charcoal. This latest seizure follows an earlier bust on Monday when authorities confiscated about a dozen bags from an illegal burning pit. Forestry Unit Director Daniel Hannock warns while the smoke from these fires can trigger respiratory issues, using this unauthorized charcoal could pose an even more significant threat to public health.
Because we don't know, it's not unregulated, so we don't know what is going into the making of the charcoal. So why should that matter? Certain woods are not recommended for this use. So especially if you're using it for cooking or for culinary, for consumption, you would not use certain types of woods. For example, you wouldn't recommend pine wood to be used or poison wood to be used because of the level of toxicity. So over time, it would actually lead or have detrimental health benefits for consumers.
All right, now stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 as our Joshua Williams, who's been on this story from the beginning, shares more about the latest bust by environmental health. Athol Island coming back into focus for environmentalists across the country after aerial photos of extensive clearing on the island raise alarms. The developer has never been disclosed to the public despite calls for transparency on plans for the island, but With the release of these new photos, Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely Murphy, telling a local daily the development appears to be non-compliant with its Certificate of Environmental Clearance. Elijah Sands is Senior Communications Officer for the Bahamas National Trust.
The area was declared a protected area. I mean, I have the Gazette. It's included in it. You can, go online and see that it was included in the declarations of 2021. And so now the next step is to assign a protected area management agency so that there can be a legal entity who's responsible for the sustainable development and sustainable use of Athol Island and its resources.
The BNT exec says the BNT has maintained a strong stance on Athol Island since the 1980s, advocating for it to become a national park. As for what will be the future of the island?
Our hope still remains that we hope the government of the Bahamas, assigns a protected area management agency to Athol Island. The recent reports about a developer being in violation of its certificate of environmental clearance is extremely concerning. It's positive to see that the Department of Environmental Protection and Planning has responded so quickly and have addressed the reports and have indicated that they will be addressed formally. So we're looking forward to seeing what comes from the investigation. If the developer is in violation of its CAC, then there should be penalties, there should be fines or punishment for that.
Well, despite being homeless, a disabled woman using the little resources she has to fight suicide. It comes after the tragic death of her husband and other tragedies that her family has faced. And now she's made it her mission to help keep others from following a similar path. Our Joshua Williams has the story.
Price changes a lot of things because while I was out there in the cold and the rain and everything, and I pray, and I'm still here.
Lydia King is using her story to save the lives of others, but she says the start of her nonprofit organization was rooted in tragedy.
What happened in 2004, their dad committed suicide, kill himself.
Suicides are not uncommon here. According to the 2024 crime statistics, there were 8 confirmed suicides, with 50 attempted last year. King says her goal is to educate, prevent, and assist those who are still struggling.
I have to come out of show the world that suicide is on the loose, because last year it was so many suicide people.
But the journey has not been easy. She says a few years ago she was evicted from her apartment. This, coupled with a disability, has left her homeless. She showed me her car, which is piled with what little she now owns, a pillow and blanket visible in the backseat.
People wouldn't rent me, even though I had rent-a-cars for the past 2 years. I slept in them. Majority of them I have to sleep. Sometimes I sleep in the hotel room, and sometimes I can't make it.
King is now encouraging those who want to help to contact her. While she is homeless, her focus is saving the lives of others. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that story, Josh. If you want to see that story again, be sure and head over to Our News Bahamas on Facebook. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Thanks, Gideon, and a happy Tuesday evening on this beautiful evening setting up for us on the outdoors. 76 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. Your winds out of the east-northeast at 9 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 75. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 74 over in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Marshall, Babaco, 73. Alistown, Bimini, 75. Also in Great Harbor, Key, the Berry Islands. Governor's Harbour, 76. Nicholstown, Andros, North Andros, you guys are 76 at this hour, as well as here in the capital. 77s in Kemps Bay, 74, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Comertown, San Salvador, Georgetown, the Exumas, and Deadman's Key, Long Island, 76s. And into the southeast Bahama, 77 again in Duncantown, Ragged Island. Providenciales, more 76s in Delectable Bay and Abrams Bay, 75 in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Matthew Town, Inagua. Deep south, you guys are 78 at this hour. Satellite radar composite, nothing to talk about. That ridge of high pressure remains in charge. A very dry air mass is in place, so we're having very little in terms of any significant cloud buildups out there, as well as any rainfall. Temperatures manage to get up into the 80s, but we'll continue to remain under this dome of high pressure for the next several days. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, Christian Robinson is headed back to Diamondback spring training with the Big League Club, but this time it's different. We'll fill you in on the next chapter in his story.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. Christian Robinson's path to the big leagues reached another milestone this offseason as he prepares to head to spring training. The 24-year-old outfielder will be one of the non-roster invitees to join the Arizona Diamondbacks 40-man roster in training camp this month. The first full squad workouts for the Diamondbacks is scheduled for February 17th at Salt River Field in Arizona, and the team begins Cactus League play February 21st against the Colorado Rockies. Once ranked the Diamondbacks' #1 overall prospect, Robinson completed his first full season at the AA level with the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
The top junior sailors in the country are preparing to set sail again in honor of the most iconic name in the sport. Under the theme Youth, Passion, Determination, the 2025 Sir Derwin Knowles Junior National Sailing Championship will be hosted February 20th to 22nd at the Montague Foreshore. The event brings together athletes from various sailing clubs throughout the country to carry on Knowles' legacy and the succession plan for the sport's local development.
Maybe DeAndre Ayton had a point to prove. Maybe it was just another game. But the former #1 overall pick dominated his former team and led his current one to their 4th consecutive win. Ayton finished with a team-high 25 points and a season-high 20 rebounds in the Blazers' 121-119 overtime win over the Phoenix Suns at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. He also made 7 of his season-high 8 free throw attempts, including 4 or 5 down the stretch in overtime to seal the win for the Blazers. Monday night's performance followed up his most efficient offensive game of the season, where he finished with 24 points on 11 of 12 shooting in the Blazers' 127-108 win over the Suns Saturday night. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more. Coming up in sports, Christian Robinson is headed back to Diamondback spring training with the big.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as China hits back as its trade war with the United States heats up. Plus, if you ever bought broccoli from Walmart, we'll tell you what you need to know about a recent FDA recall. And the violence continues as Haitian media report how armed gangs killed 50 in an attack near the capital. What authorities are saying when our news returns.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the family islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard for the new season.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Beijing has struck back in the trade war with the United States. Starting February 10th, China says it will impose a 15% tariff on U.S. coal and liquefied natural gas, plus a 10% duty on crude oil, agricultural machinery, and large engine cars. The calculated move, seen to be far more selective than Trump's blanket 10% tariff on all Chinese imports, and leaves room for negotiations. With a call between the leaders scheduled later this week, Beijing is reportedly keeping the door open for a deal while using its proposed tariffs as leverage. On Monday, the White House announced that tariffs for both Canada and Mexico had been put on hold, at least for now. At least 20,000 U.S. federal workers have accepted President Trump's deferred resignation offer, ABC News reports. The White House program initially targeted 2 million employees and was aimed at shrinking the federal workforce by offering pay and benefits through September 30th. Some Democrats already questioning the legality of the plan. ABC reports that 20,000 represents about 1% of the civilian workforce, although the Trump administration said it had hoped to attract between 5 and 10%. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says it has upgraded the recall of ready-to-eat market-side broccoli florets to its highest risk level. That's a Class 1 recall. The FDA reports the product, made by Braga Fresh Foods and sold at Walmart in 20 states, was first pulled on December 27, 2024, after a Texas store sample tested positive for listeria. With a best if used by date on December 10, 2024, consumers are urged to discard any bags they may have. Listeria can cause severe illness or even death, especially among vulnerable groups. At least 50 people killed and dozens injured in a large-scale gang attack near Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Local media report 100 homes burned as gangs tried to seize control, while Haitian police killed 20 gang members and sent in reinforcements to restore order. The violent assault adds to Haiti's mounting crisis, where gang-related violence claimed over 5,000 lives in 2024. Gangs now control 80% of the capital, where a multinational police force continues efforts to quell the violence. Still to come in Our News, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was February 4th. Then in Our News at 7:30, pinned by the king. A longtime veterans advocate shares the surprising moment all the way from Buckingham Palace. We'll tell you more about her recent investiture and her meeting with the king. But first, we take another look at last year's crime stats released by the commissioner this week, as the numbers reveal complaints against officers reach the triple digits. The story when our news returns.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Athol Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1834, the slave ship Encomium ran aground on Fish Key, freeing 45 enslaved people in New Providence. The Historical Society notes how the incident later prompted British indemnity to the United States. In 1889, in Hopetown, Abaco, future educator Thomas Alvin Thompson was born. From school monitor to headmaster and Yale representative, his legacy lives on at T.A. Thompson Jr. High School. Thompson passed away on April 20th, 1966. He was 77. Then February 4th, 1895, the American steamship Cienfuegos sank off Harbor Island after hitting the Devil's Backbone. All aboard were rescued, and the wreck now attracts divers. In 1957, Randall Fox pushed for jury reform with a bill to allow women to serve on juries, though it ultimately failed. In 1965, the United Bahamian Party government issued its Boundaries Commission report, sparking protests as the opposition Progressive Liberal Party disapproved. The protests eventually culminated in what is now known as Black Tuesday on April 27th that year. And on February 4th, 1995, the Nassau, Bahamas Pan-Hellenic Council became the first international council outside the United States, uniting 9 major Greek letter organizations. All right, to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is our Talia Hall with the latest headlines. Talia?
Thanks so much, Candino. Well, coming up, pinned by the king. A longtime veterans advocate shares the surprising moment all the way from Buckingham Palace. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, another illegal tree-burning site dismantled in western New Providence. Our Joshua Williams has been following the story.
Coming up tonight on Our News, less than 24 hours after 10 illegal bags of charcoal were found at an All Saints Way community, officials this morning discovering 200 more off of Cowpin Road. We'll have the details for you coming up tonight.
Also, a 34-year-old woman is behind bars accused of attempting to murder her brother and his girlfriend in a shocking acid attack. Her bail was denied. Plus, 2 police officers will face manslaughter charges in the shooting death of D'Angelo Evans. We have the details. And later, complaints against police officers surged by 114% last year, according to new statistics shared by Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles. Most of those complaints came from civilians. We have the full story when our news at 7:30 returns.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Struckham, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Diet-friendly special.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Another illegal tree burning site has been dismantled by authorities. This one was discovered in western New Providence. It comes a day after the Ministry of Environmental Health conducted an assessment at a nearby site. Our Joshua Williams has been following the story for weeks. Tonight, he has an exclusive look at how officers remove hundreds of bags of charcoal from the site.
Less than 24 hours ago, Environment Minister Vaughn Miller took us to a site off of All Saints Way where about a dozen bags of illegal charcoal were found. This morning, police allowed us to exclusively witness them confiscating over 200 bags from a site on a dirt road off of Cowpin Road. It was so much that officers had to make 2 trips. The confiscated coal was strapped to the back of this flatbed truck. A walk further in the back shows an operation we've seen all too many times. Stacks of chopped trees surrounding a coal pit with smoke still coming from it. Discarded coal crunching under our feet as we made our way around the illegal site. Officer in charge of the Unregulated Community Action Task Force, Superintendent Stephen Carey, says they believe the suspects left moments before police arrived.
They were here recently. Bags are still in the process of being packaged, so definitely they were here recently. We might have disturbed them this morning upon our arrival.
Drone footage shows a long dirt road leading to the site tucked away in bushes. It's the same drone technology that led officers to discover this new site.
Yesterday, when we sent the drone over, we noticed everything was being bagged up, so this morning we took a run at it.
But why is it so hard to catch and prosecute those responsible?
We have to prove that the persons selling the bags have knowledge that it's illegal, and that comes into play right now, that we cannot even find the person responsible for any of these kills.
Now, Carey tells me each of these bags can be sold up to $80. And with 200 of these confiscated today, you can do the math to see how much these illegal coal burners actually make.
Cease from purchasing the coal found on the street. Use your local food store coal, the normal coal that you have in the food store. That is the only way you can disrupt and discontinue this from happening.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, a 34-year-old woman is behind bars after prosecutors allege she attempted to murder her brother and his girlfriend by throwing acid on them. LC Charles McKinney faces charges of attempted murder and dangerous harm in relation to the incident on December 21, 2024. Prosecutors allege that she tried to kill her brother Martheo Paul and Melissa Murphy and cause dangerous harm to them. Charles McKinney didn't have to enter pleas to the charges. When she appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley, bail was denied and she's back in court on May 8 to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. In an unexpected turn of events, 2 police officers will face criminal charges in relation to the shooting death of D'Angelo Evans. The Director of Public Prosecutions had initially determined that no prosecution would flow from a coroner's jury finding that the killing was a homicide by manslaughter. Inspector Kim Moulton and Corporal 3906 Donald Wright will be arraigned on manslaughter charges in the Supreme Court. Evans was shot dead on May 27, 2018 after the officer claimed he pointed a .40 millimeter pistol at them. The officers were dispatched to the Masons Addition area in search of a suspect who had robbed Taylor's Convenience on Burial Ground Corner. Well, complaints against police officers surged last year, more than doubling, with a 114% increase over the previous years. Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles put a spotlight on the alarming trend during her first Meet the Press conference on Monday, where she revealed the latest statistics. Those stats reveal there were 315 complaints against officers in 2024, compared to 147 complaints in 2023. Knowles says the majority of those complaints came from civilians.
There were 159 complaints against police officers made by civilians. 64 remain under investigation, 43 were closed with no further action, 37 fell in a category where it was unfounded, withdrawal, or compensation made, 6 fell in a category where civil action was advised, it was informally resolved, or it became statute barred, and 9 cases were forwarded to the tribunal.
Amid the concerning numbers, Commissioner Knowles said police-involved shootings decreased by 25%. She credited the drop to officers getting training on justifiable force. Knowles is also encouraging the public to continue reporting officers they feel have committed crimes.
We take these cases very seriously, and we will strive to maintain public trust and confidence in the way we deal with them. Accordingly, Deputy Commissioner Kirkwood Andrews has carriage of discipline within the organization, and he will have an oversight of all complaints and investigations into police-related cases with direct report to the Commissioner's office.
All right, well, nice weather conditions in the capital on this Tuesday. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions outside our studios. 76 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds on the outside. East-northeast winds, a light breeze out there at 9 miles per hour. Feels like temperature 75 degrees. Satellite radar composite, very dry air mass in place, courtesy of a rigid high pressure at the surface and aloft. That's going to continue to dominate our weather, producing some almost blue skies, just a few clouds. Maybe a sprinkle, not really much in terms of any rainfall expected, but that will remain our weather pattern for the next several days. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, outgoing Grand Bahama Chamber President James Carey is weighing in on the economy of Grand Bahama, saying that while there's been some growth, more stimulus is needed to boost development on the island. Also, the Grand Bahama Port Authority is celebrating its 70th anniversary in style. A new sculpture of a hawksbill turtle and baby turtle now stands proudly outside the GBPA headquarters. We'll tell you all about it coming up. And later, King's College is offering life-changing opportunities for students through a Scholars Program. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the family islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard for the new season.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Outgoing Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President James Carey is weighing in on the current state of Grand Bahama's economy. Now, the Prime Minister recently announced that the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort is in its final stages, an economic boost for the island. He says while there's been some growth, more stimulus is needed to boost economic growth, adding that the island remains in a doldrum.
I acknowledge that there has been some movement from all appearances, but just not enough to get the island going. I don't think we've regained our critical mass. That loss of population with Hurricane Dorian and then COVID. We're getting there, but we need numbers that help stimulate the economy as well. So it's more hope than what is actually seen.
Prime Minister Davis says his administration is taking an holistic approach to the sale, connecting it with the planned redevelopment of Grand Bahama's International Airport. Carey highlighting the airport's role as a vital economic driver, stressing that a modern, functional facility is essential to rebuilding the economy.
This March, in just 2 months, will be 2 years past the first announced date of something serious happening with our airport, and there's still no definitive announcement. I believe back then it was said 2 years ago in 2023 that things will start in March. I think it would have been March of 2023, but nothing has happened. And now we're at 2025. We critically need an airport.
Still on the island of Grand Bahama, this as the Grand Bahama Port Authority is gearing up to celebrate a major milestone, its 70th anniversary, marking 7 decades since the signing of the historic Hawksbill Creek Agreement. Celebrations kicked off with a special unveiling outside the GBP headquarters on the Mall Drive, a sculpture of a Hawksbill turtle accompanied by a baby turtle, part of the GBPA's public art initiative to raise awareness about marine life and the city's heritage. The Hawksbill turtle holds a special significance for Grand Bahama, giving its name to the Hawksbill Creek Agreement of 1955, which paved the way for the growth of the city of Freeport. The sculptures now sit proudly on the top of the Welcome to Town Center sign. GBPA Chairman Sarah St. George says the turtles are a powerful reminder to cherish the legacy while continuing to move forward. She also noted that the city's public art pieces are becoming popular stops on local tours.
It's a cause for celebration. We thought the turtle sculptures were a lovely symbol for this building. The next generation swims next to the older turtle, reminding us of the importance of continuity.
The full schedule of events will be available on the GBPA's website soon. Meanwhile, artist Jackie Boss, who designed and crafted the sculptures, explained the details behind the creation.
It's made of concrete. That's solid concrete you see behind me. So when we have the guys move these things, when they see a sculpture for the first time, their eyes get very wide. And I know it's not because of the art. They're looking at the weight of the thing. The turtle there behind us, the big one, is roughly 850 pounds. So it's not easy to move.
All right, great news. Well, King's College founding principal Matteo Rossetti says applications are still open for the Nunsali Scholars Program. The global initiative looks to provide full scholarships to 50 students to one of the 118 Inspired Education Group schools around the world. One of those inspired schools is right here in New Providence at King's College. Rossetti says providing access to a variety of students is a priority for them.
We
which is why we not only have a huge investment here in the country, but that investment also translates in bursary scholarships, and some of the ones that now are in our second year, such as the Insuli Scholarship, which is going to be a transformational program aimed at students aged 13 and above who wouldn't be able otherwise to afford an education of this type, students who excel academically as well as either in the creative arts and sports.
Applications opened in early January and will close on April 30th. We asked the founding principal what kind of engagement they've seen so far from Bahamians looking to apply.
We've had a tremendous level of interest in the scholarships and in the boarding house, actually, from across the Bahamas as well. So I'm really looking forward to the impact that these initiatives are going to have in the educational landscape in the country.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break, Adina Monroe Charlotte received the surprise of a lifetime at Buckingham Palace, being personally honored by His Majesty King Charles III for her years of service.
Coming up in sports, Christian Robinson heads to spring training, and it's almost as if the Phoenix Suns could have used a post presence last night, like DeAndre Ayton.
And later, a gorgeous Tuesday in the capital, but will the nice weather stick around for the rest of the week? Greg is back with your extended forecast when our news continues.
It's your boy Charlie Bahama here, and you can see I'm filming new episodes here in one of the family islands, the one that has the pink snow. If you missed last season, you can catch it right now on our TV, Cable Bahamas, channel 212, with Dorian Missick and Simone Missick, Gibton. We had AJR and Cuba. So catch the repeats of the Charlie Bahama show, and just rest assured, I'm out here working hard for the new season.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Talia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinutt. Let's do show. Christian Robinson's path to the big leagues reached another milestone this offseason as he prepares to head to spring training. The 24-year-old outfielder will be one of the non-roster invitees to join the Arizona Diamondbacks 40-man roster in training camp this month. The first full squad workouts for the Diamondbacks is scheduled for February 17th at Salt River Field in Arizona, and the team begins Cactus League play February 21st against the Colorado Rockies. Once ranked the Diamondbacks' #1 overall prospect, Robinson completed his first full season at the AA level with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. He ended the year with a .214, .337, .350 slash line, 11 home runs, and 10 steals. He followed that up with a productive Arizona Fall League where he won a championship with the surprise Segueros. He hit .319 with a .405 OBP and slugged .449 with 9 steals in 19 games. He called this spring training invite a different experience based on the momentum he built headed into the offseason.
You know, it felt the same every single time, I would say. I always get excited when I hear the news, when I get the call, whether it was my first go or my first go with it, or you know, this previous off season when I got the call. It was feeling of relief.
The top junior sailors in the country are preparing to set sail again in honor of the most iconic name in the sport. Under the theme Youth, Passion, Determination, the 2025 Sir Derwin Knowles Junior National Sailing Championship will be hosted February 20th to 22nd at the Montague Foreshore. The event brings together athletes from various sailing clubs throughout the country to carry on Knowles' legacy and the succession plan for the sport's local development.
Sir Derwin Knowles embodied excellence in sailing and left an enduring legacy in the world of maritime sportsmanship. It is only fitting that we continue its mission by hosting this national championship, providing young sailors from all across our beautiful nation the opportunity to test their skills and compete in fierce competitions.
Maybe DeAndre Ayton had a point to prove. Maybe it was just another game. But the former #1 overall pick dominated his former team and led his current one to their 4th consecutive win. Ayton finished with a team-high 25 points and a season-high 20 rebounds in the Blazers' 121-119 overtime win over the Phoenix Suns at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. He also made 7 of his season-high 8 free throw attempts, including 4 or 5 down the stretch in overtime to seal the win for the Blazers. Monday night's performance followed up his most efficient offensive game of the season, where he finished with 24 points on 11 of 12 shooting in the Blazers' 127-108 win over the Suns Saturday night. With back-to-back wins over Phoenix, the Blazers have won 8 of their last 9 games and improved to 21-29. Over the win streak, Ayton has averaged 23 points and 12.3 rebounds per game while shooting 66% from the field.
It was picking on some of our guys and, just wanted to pick on certain defenders and, just attack them, and we adjusted. It was some mishaps and they got their run going, but we took the punch and reduced some of our own, and I really enjoyed how we all was together collectively down.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. You got a lot of Bahamians playing spring training this year. You got another reason to go to Arizona.
Yeah, that's not the only reason.
I feel like there's more that we'll talk about off air.
My mom lives there.
Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, with hundreds of Bahamians facing homelessness, organizations like Teen Challenge Bahamas are stepping up to help. As our Jasmine Brown tells us, the need for support is greater than ever, and it's a perfect day for outdoor plans. But will we see any surprises later on this week? Greg is back with your extended forecast when our news returns. Stay with us. Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the lives.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future. Navigating cyber challenges in business. Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Atlantis, Paradise Island. Register today. This is how we unleash resilience. This is how we create innovation. Together, let's secure the digital future.
This is our news. Welcome back. High pressure is the name of the game over the next several days. The ridge of high pressure is in charge, and that ridge will continue to keep us with some dry conditions as well as some light to moderate breezes. Of course, not much in terms of any clouds expected with this system, but that high is going to continue to keep everything to the north. Any storm system that forms across the United States will stay well north of the area. Future forecast showing nothing happening out there, just a quiet spattering of a few isolated showers on the outside of the islands. High pressure continue to dominate. Some high-level clouds moving through Wednesday and then to Thursday, much the same, but most of the activity staying well to the north of us. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas, Small craft use caution tonight through tomorrow. Rip current risk is high out there. Easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet near shore, but up to 6 feet offshore, mainly in the Atlantic waters. High tide was at 6:18 tonight. The low tide takes place at 1:56 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, caution flag inside the islands, advisory on the outside in the Atlantic exposures. Northeast to east winds 15 to 20 knots, gusting higher near the southeast Bahamas, seas 4 to 6 feet, but up to 8 feet in the Atlantic waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, nothing to write home about. High pressure remains the dominant weather feature, influencing our weather. Nice sunshine, but temperatures will stay in the low 80s. Nighttime temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. Well, longtime British Legion Bahamas branch chairperson Adina Monroe-Charlo got quite the surprise when she arrived at Buckingham Palace on December 18th for her investiture and learned she would be pinned by none other than His Majesty King Charles III. Alongside the British High Commissioner Thomas Hartley, Monroe-Charlo shared the details.
He doesn't normally pin. His son or his sister does it. But when he saw the Bahamas, he said, I must go. And so I was luckily pinned by His Majesty.
What's remarkable for you and from your visit is he just wouldn't stop talking. He kept enjoying your company and saying more and more.
Yes, he was talking. Everyone was saying, what is he talking to her about? This is like 2 minutes going into 3 minutes.
While he says anyone can be nominated, the British High Commissioner stresses it's an intense process with many stages before one is officially selected.
Anyone can be nominated, and you write a short section on what they've done, a short section on their kind of community and voluntary efforts as well. And then normally you would also gather 2 or 3 supporting letters from people who've seen it firsthand. And that process then goes into the UK Cabinet Office and then goes through lots of Whitehall departments. I happen to sit on one of the committees and so often see nominations and so Adina's would have gone through one of those committees and would have been very supported, and then would have gone to the Cabinet Office and then to the Prime Minister and then to the King himself, who then has a final say on the list as well. So it is a very difficult process or rather it's very high standards, shall we say, of who's recognised.
All right, such an honor. Across the country, hundreds of people are homeless, sleeping in cars, abandoned buildings, on parks and under bridges. While many feel their lives have hit a roadblock, countless organizations give them a safe place to live. Teen Challenge Bahamas is just one of them. And as our Jasmine Brown tells us in this report, the need continues to grow.
For nearly 40 years, thousands of young men have passed through these doors here at Teen Challenge Bahamas. And we witnessed one homeless man giving himself an opportunity here this morning. This was the moment a young man walked up to the doors of Teen Challenge Bahamas on Marshall Road. It happened as I was interviewing current Teen Challenge residents and staff. With all of his earthly possessions in hand, he explained to Teen Challenge Executive Director Eric Fox that he has no place to go and had been sent there by a local church. In a matter of moments, he was ushered inside and given a place to stay. Fox became emotional as he told me it's become a daily occurrence as more and more people face poverty and addiction.
If you won't come to me with all your clothes, that means you heard who's me to say no. If I don't have a bed, I asked one of these guys, sleep on the couch. and give up their bed. And they will.
While that young man is beginning his first day at Teen Challenge, others have spent years here, transitioning from residents to staff members. They're among the success stories, overcoming addictions and homelessness to make a new path in life. Home director Rancher Smith first met Fox and entered Teen Challenge Bahamas 17 years ago. At the time, he was battling alcohol addiction. He says the program changed his life.
Teen Challenge provided safe shelter. They provided security. They provided a place to be needed, wanted, and respected.
It's a sentiment echoed by everyone I spoke with at the center. But Fox says Teen Challenge Bahamas is so much more than that. It's also a treatment center for those facing addiction, a counseling center for those facing emotional issues, and a partner with the judiciary to provide alternative sentencing. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks for that touching story, Jasmine. Of course, to see that again, you can visit ournews.bs. With that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Talia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Talia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see